Do you have any favorite monsters?
The mole people, Frankenstein. Oh, It, the terror from beyond space.
Are you ever afraid that you might run into one in real life?
The hell is it? I told Ellen maybe it washed up out of the creek or something, you know?
I can't even tell if it's a vertebrate.
What the fuck was that?
Welcome, everybody, to Midnight Cinema. I am Art Hennessey in San Diego.
And I am Erik Rodenhiser in Salem, and now afraid to go into the cellar because there might be creatures in there tearing apart my mom's face.
Yeah.
Is that a spoiler? I couldn't think of a thing, Art. I was like, what in this, who can I copy in this movie to intro? And I was like, who? Hello, I like vegetables. I couldn't think of anything, so that's what I got for you.
You brought your magic soy balls.
Ooh, there you go. I'm going to open that. Hi, I'm Erik, and I brought my magic soy balls. What does that have to do with alien monsters from space? Who knows?
We'll discuss it because this week on Midnight Cinema, we are discussing the...
Balls. No. What? Space balls.
Do they have balls, these creatures?
Ooh.
I wonder.
Ooh.
Yeah. They are dissected, but...
What are we discussing?
We're discussing The Deadly Spawn,
Dun, dun, dun.
a 1983 movie. It's directed by Douglas McKeown, starring Charles George, Hildebrandt, Tom DeFranco, Richard Lee Porter, Gene Taffler, and Karen Ty.
Yes, all of them now mega stars.
Yes. So The Deadly Spawn is a cult classic to a lot of people, but I have to admit, though I think I've seen the poster of it, it's pretty recognizable. I had never seen this movie.
Oh, all right. I remember seeing it only from watching it now. I was like, wait a minute, I remember this.
Yeah? Would you say a video store rental at some point during that era?
100%.
Yeah.
I looked at the cover probably and went, oh yeah, and then brought it home.
It is an intriguing cover, and that was the era, right? We have Extro and all these movies that you would rent from the video store just based on the cover. And this movie was actually released in theaters. It is shot on 16 millimeter. So this is a very, very low budget movie. $25,000 was the budget. Was the budget that I saw. Now, some people say it's rumored, Erik, the budget was as high as $32,000.
Wow, that's a big jump. Big jump.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Rumpelstiltskin.
That's correct.
I'll tell you that.
What could you do with that extra $7,000? That's amazing. But they do a lot with that $25,000 in this movie as far as the creature effects and things like that. I was very surprised. But it is, fair warning for those of you going into it, it is low budget, and it starts low budget, right?
Yeah, it starts low budget, but they're not going to give away every special effect right at the get-go, but sure, low budget. Let's say it starts low budget.
I will say it. When the movie started, this was Erik's recommendation, everybody. When the movie started, I was like, what did Erik get me into? Because I'm watching it, and it's a really bad transfer at the beginning. I was watching it on Shudder, which they curate horror movies, so they usually have pretty good transfers of even old movies. This is rough at the beginning. It's very blurry, obviously faded print, and I looked up on YouTube to see if there was a better quality version. This is after I started it for a few minutes. No, they're all like this at the opening. So you're going to get the real feeling that you're watching an old VHS tape.
Yeah, it's like some college kids were like, let's try the camera. It's going to be great. We want to point out that it's an alien home invasion movie. So if you like that, it's, you're in for that kind of treat.
And it doesn't waste time. I like this about the opening. We see something from space, a meteorite falling, and then boom, smash. It's two guys in a tent are waking up going, what was that? They're looking out the tent. and we're off. We're off. The movie doesn't waste any time why they're camping in the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
And
When you say that, Art, I know, and I know we're going to start with the movie. We're going to tell the movie because I think that's cool. But when you said it doesn't really waste time, there's a few things in this movie. I'm like, why?
yes,
We got to get to 89 minutes or however long it is.
we'll get to that. You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it.
I'm gonna actually get. I'm so excited about this movie. I'm sweating. So I'm gonna just go to my reptilian shirt and my alien reptile shirt.
Ooh,
Kind of fit in with the theme, which is not even close to this. But I figured a monster on my shirt.
Well, I think Alien is a pretty close. There's a lot of Alien in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they're like, how can we do Alien even better than Alien on $25,000?
Well, yeah, you're right, Art. Isn't the name of the movie actually something Aliens, the Deadly Spawn? They were trying to play off of Aliens somehow. Like, no, this is more of what you want.
There were distribution aspects, some regions, I think, where it was released with that title, Alien, the Deadly Spawn, to make people think this is somehow a sequel to Alien, which I can't imagine if you liked Alien and then you went into the theater and this started playing.
Well, the similarities in the Aliens is, what I was trying to think of how it could go with Alien was they're all very drooly. So, like the original Alien, they're very drooly.
There is a lot of drool in this movie. Yes.
A lot of drool. But I guess we're going to get into it then because, we're starting with the camping scene. So that would be our opening scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Opening scene, campers hear
Great
this
dialogue.
thing.
Great dialogue too. Amazing dialogue.
Do you want to
Don't forget to bring your flash. Don't forget the thingy. Well, I forget what they're trying to. They see the meteor crash, and then one of them stays there, obviously, so he can get killed, and then the other one has to go back to get the camera. And they're very, very adamant about bringing the flash. Don't forget the flash.
Well, they need it to illuminate what's going on, right?
Right.
That's what they need. Yeah.
You said the meteor is a meteor, and the meteor didn't look bad. It was glowy.
No. It's a little hard. It's a little hard to see things, at least in my particular version of it in this opening.
They didn't use a lot of light when it was dark.
Well, you know what, Eric? And you're making fun of them for asking for the flashlight.
Well, they were probably trying to help the DP. Maybe we should get flash for this.
Well, they need it in other areas of this movie too. You can tell they're using some extra light and they're using, But here, so we start out, one of the guys has to go back to the tent. The other guy you just sort of see him go, oh!
He gets like pulled, like he tripped.
It's almost like somebody yanked his legs out and pulled him. And then you just see rustling in the trees and they're not showing you anything at all. Like
but
they're not
blood. There's always a splash of blood. What I love in this movie is they probably paid somebody to be the blood splasher.
Yes.
Because our first scene, it's like, where did the aliens attack this guy? I mean, they get the femoral artery. There's like splash
everywhere. Yeah. But back in the tent, now this is where low budget, but we're seeing a shot approaching the tent. It's going around a few trees. It gets to the tent and the guy's arm shoots out of the tent, right? He's being attacked and the hand grabs the tree. And I was like, okay, they're trying to put some style into the direction here. But what was funny to me, Eric, was when the hand shot out of the tent, what I think the idea was to jump scare us, right? But I don't know if you noticed, but the hand got caught in the flap of the tent as he was shooting his hand out of the tent. And it kind of dragged a little bit of the tent with him on the hand. And then it fell away. And I was reminded of that Ed Wood movie with Johnny Depp where they're like, do you maybe want to get another take of that? But they're like, no, we can't afford
they don't want to waste that precious 16 millimeter film. Like we can't shoot that again. So and the hand was out there for quite a dramatically long amount of time.
Yes, it was
right?
because they want you to see that it was holding on to the branch, and then it starts slowly going down the branch. My instinct, I'm not the director of this movie. I thought a setup like that, what you'd want to see, right, Eric, is that then the hand is holding on to the branch, and then it rips back. He gets pulled back into the tent. That's what I think the logic of that would be. But no, it falls, and then the hand just sort of falls on the ground, and they start spilling blood out
From where?
from where. Well, we're gonna, yeah.
It was like just coming. They like, we need blood in this scene. But I have to say, the movie starts to be like, oh, okay, maybe they're going to have some good stuff here, because then you see a shadow of the creature. And I thought, this is cool. They're teasing you with this grotesque shadow. And they do that a lot in the film. Can I say film? Is this a film? It's a film.
It's shot on 16 millimeter film.
Yeah, scholars probably just go over this in film school all the time. You see the shadow effect here. Very clever. But it was cool. You saw that something growing, and it's some weird, it's got like not tentacles, but like an arm with an extra head on it and huge teeth. I thought that was cool. I
did too. I'll agree. I was still at this point of the movie, though, saying like, what are we getting here? They're finding low budget ways to do things, but I was like, okay, I don't know what this is going to be like for the rest of this movie. But I do admit you're trying to figure out what the shape of this thing is that's munching now. We have these munching sounds throughout the movie on the soundtrack. Crunch, like they're crunching celery or something.
I'm blaming you right now for bringing that up early in the podcast. Man, when I started, because I watched it a couple of times, when I started focusing on the sounds, that's all I could hear was this. It's like, I mean, somebody, again, they were probably just as excited about the blood people. They're like, I'm the sound guy. Do I get to, eat Cheez-Its in the microphone? I thought it was pleasantly distracting. Like, they're really chowing down on these people.
We're also starting to get in a little bit of the score, which I thought worked for this low budget movie. The score was kind of cool. That zithery type of science fiction, which you can start to see the influences, which are mentioned a lot throughout this movie. We'll get to it. But that 50s sci-fi type of influence, the types of movies you and I would watch on Creature Double Feature, right? On Channel 56 in Massachusetts, you would start to feel that influence on the from the soundtrack.
I didn't want to feel that influence, Art. I didn't want to feel it. I was so distracted. I kept thinking to myself, what if we just have some teenager just redo the soundtrack for this film, and it would be like 500% better, because that sound,
it does get a little out of control sometimes. But after we get the munching here, we cut to the credits, and then we get that, is it a painting or a model on the hill? Like, it's a house on the hill with another hill behind it and some trees, and it doesn't look real, but it doesn't
it looks like it's like the set of a fantasy movie with puppets in it. You're like, oh, are they going to do miniatures? But I guess they were trying to establish the shot that this was a rural house near a wooded mountainside or something. But I liked it. I thought it was a little bit like a Beetlejuice kind of a thing, where you're like, is it? Nope. They're just establishing the house. There's a reason, Art. There's a reason.
Yes, which it comes back in the end. So everybody remember that house. So we see that setting. And then we're into the house with these two characters. They're waking up for the day. I noticed the time on the clock is, I think, 6:30 in the morning. And
what
they're talking about they have to go somewhere.
Yeah, so they're youngish, right? They look like maybe they're in their late 30s or maybe early 40s, maybe?
Maybe? I couldn't quite tell. They are. Let's talk about the house for a second.
Oh my God,
we start to see the house. The wallpaper in this bedroom, the wallpaper everywhere. And I kind of forget, like when we were younger, wallpaper was much more of a thing, like the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, I got the same vibe with the wallpaper. I thought they picked the most detailed, elaborate wallpaper, and it is everywhere. It is so distracting. You know what it looks like? They blew up a dollhouse. Like they saw a dollhouse and like, how can we make this? We'll do that. It's just so bizarre. And the colors of the what little walls are painted, they're like deep reds and like just
And the cabinets in the kitchen are like, I mean, they're kind of fun, those cabinets, but it's an interesting house. What I learned is it's the house of an actual illustrator, not famous, but
no,
he's done
not famous.
posters of movies you've seen. Like, remember the Star Wars poster with Luke Skywalker with
Yes.
the the real heroic
Yeah.
one? Like he did that poster.
Can you do that heroic move one more time, just in case we have
Yeah,
a video
so
of it? What are you
he's
doing?
doing
You're
a video,
holding
you
is
know,
that a
Luke
lightsaber you're holding up?
Skywalker.
Uh-huh.
But that poster always cracks me up because like Luke Skywalker's got like the tunic is half
my
open.
God.
You see his pec muscles
He's
and
working out.
it's-
He's got
right.
abs.
It's sort of like what you'd put on the side of a van, right?
Yeah, and this
But
is
that
the
was
guy's house. The guy
this
who
is yeah, he's an illustrator and that's his
Wow.
house. His name was
Wow.
Hildebrandt, and I think his brother and he used to work on like science fiction novel covers and things
well,
like that.
maybe
So-
because one of the actors has got a last name Hildebrandt, right? Maybe
That's correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
nepotism.
That's right. So
Wow, good for him.
it seems quirky. It's a
Great
quirky
ADHD.
house,
If you got
But
ADHD,
good-
it's a great house.
but it's got a good basement for them to film in. It looks a little like the basement of the apartment I had in Somerville, the apartment building.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. That's where you
Yeah.
have to go down to do your laundry.
Scary basement, yeah.
Scary basement. But so these two people are getting up for the day. They're talking. They have to go somewhere, going out to get the newspaper, coming back in, talking.
It's all rainy.
It's very rainy.
Are we avoiding we're avoiding what we really want to talk about in this scene, Art? We're avoiding
yeah.
it. So am I gonna do it or are you gonna do it? Who's gonna say it?
She finally gets up out of the bed
Mhm.
and she's walking around the room just getting ready.
No, I don't know, Art. I don't think I
She-
know what's she wearing, Art?
Well, she's wearing pajamas like anybody would wear
Pajamas.
to bed.
You could call it pajamas. Or she had a leftover negligee from a really bad nude shoot from a magazine we don't know about. Like not
That's
Playboy or Hustler, it's like Fun Lad or something like Sexy Girl. And I was like, why are they? And I will say, I appreciate nudity in a horror film. I think it's either a tank top or nudity, but this is the nudity of the movie. That's it. And there's absolutely no reason for it. She just, it's so distracting. I'm like, are those her nipples? Because you don't really, it's like,
Eric, they were.
Were they her nipples?
Are you still? They were. Yeah, they were.
Okay.
Well, you and I both have seen it more than once, and
well, not that scene.
And I will say that along those lines, I was actually wondering if behind the scenes they kept telling the actress, "Oh, don't worry, you won't." And she's probably sitting there going like, "Are you sure this looks really, really sheer? Oh, on the camera, this isn't gonna." With the lighting, with everything, you're probably not going to see anything.
And it's uncomfortable to wear to bed. You wear that before you go to bed, and then it's, somewhere else, like on the floor, and you slip into a t-shirt. She got up like, why would you wear that to bed? Wow, we're spending a lot of time on that. A lot of time.
They're spending a lot of time showing that she's walking leisurely around the room. They're calling each other by their names. So I'm thinking I need to know their names, Sam and Barb. And Sam goes to get the newspaper from downstairs. It's raining, and we see raining hard. It's raining so hard, Eric, that when she looks out the window, it looks like somebody is dumping water on the window to show that it's raining. Like the rain on the window looks like what you'd see in a car wash. So he goes outside to get the paper. It's not raining anywhere near the same amount as she's seeing through the window. But we notice down in the corner that the cellar window is a little open.
Yes, and if we don't notice that, the music helps us.
So he has to go down to the basement, right?
Yes, because the power was wonky or something.
Yeah, I actually read a little bit from the producer of the film. He has a little website, and he admits in it that the electricity in the house is very inconsistent throughout the movie. It comes and goes depending on what the movie needs for it to be. So he goes down into the basement, and he's got to come back up the stairs to get his rubbers on because
Oh, he
his
puts on another shot where they make sure we see that he's putting these little galoshes on.
Right.
I thought, oh, they
Eric,
must be very important.
for everybody listening, you're probably wondering, why are Eric and I going through all the details of this couple and what they're wearing? Yes, that's probably what Eric and I are thinking during the movie. Why they're making sure we see galoshes, they're making sure. So you're taking all of this in. He goes down to the basement and he's going through the water. It is a nice basement. There's dark corners of it that he's looking into. And you're starting to think, okay, the deadly spawn is down here.
Yeah, and it's drippy. All the pipes are drippy, and there's water on the floor, and there's a little spark. And first thing I thought as a homeowner, that's dangerous. You might want to get out of there.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking about that too. I'm like, oh, well, he has his rubbers on, like his galoshes, so maybe he won't get electrocuted. And then he runs into the deadly spawn, right?
Yep, you don't see him. All you do is you hear this, which is haunting me now. You hear the spawn, whatever they're doing this like. I'm like, what are they sucking on a lollipop? What are they? Are they? What's the deal? And then a shot of the drain with blood from where? And then he gets attacked, and it's the same attack where like somebody pulls the feet out from under him.
I was just gonna say that, Eric. It's like the wow, he falls back. But then this is where you get the blood everywhere. You get it on the light bulb. It hits the light bulb. This was a detail I liked. It hits the light bulb so hard, the light bulb's hanging on a cord, and it goes whack, and the light bulb starts swinging, which is good because that creates an effect of light moving in the basement. So then the other blood splatters can get that. As they're going on the wall, you're getting the lighting with that. So I actually thought that was a good directorial touch on that.
I agree. It's not like this movie is unwatchable. They really succeeded in doing what do you call it when they're doing the moments like the light bulb. Moments like the light bulb, Art. What's that called in cinema when you do something like that? But but the blood, I swear to God, they had some teenager with one of those syringes like they used to fill up water balloons with. And they just like, okay, do it. Plunge the plunger. And it spurts out like somebody's just squirting it everywhere. There's a lot of blood pumping out of these people and it hits everywhere. And I enjoyed that because I thought it was funny where they don't want to show you the gore of the guy because maybe they can't afford it. But then they just show you the blood spraying onto every surface of the cellar.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you, do we see the shadow here too?
Yes,
or if that's
I think you do. They show it on the wall either now or in the next death, but they show it on the wall. And I thought too, oh, they're really teasing us with this monster. When are they going to show it?
I was wondering at this moment of the movie, I was like, oh, we only going to get the creature at the end. They're going to show us because they only have money for one shot. That's what my mind starts going.
Oh, no, for me, it was like we spent all of our money on the monster. We're not paying any of the actors. We're using the guy's house. We're going to show you the monster. We're even going to put it on the cover. Spoilers. You know what the monster looks like going in. So
yeah. And so, of course, the woman goes down. I was upstairs. Barb, since we know her name. She's
Barb. Drinking coffee, smoking, daydreaming, writing a note.
The note for the electrician on there.
They're supposed to go out in the morning. She's like doing this acting with her eyes, which I both appreciated. And I thought, oh my God, what do you want stage? She's like, going down the stairs. There's the cat. She's grabbing she's a little upset that somebody left their coat there.
Cat's a good actor though.
Cat was
I
good.
will say the cat is good in this movie. I was like, oh, good job.
Not
cat.
Enough screen.
I thought the cat, the way they introduced it here, I thought the cat was going to be involved a little bit more in the rest of the film.
Could be the hero. You don't know.
Cat just got didn't even get, just
Nope.
got a day rate probably for
Yep.
extra work.
But you
And that
do
was
get
it.
to see the rest of the house, the beautiful wallpaper of the rest of this house as she's going down the cellar. I was paying attention to the wallpaper most of the time.
So she goes down the basement and she sees, nice detail, she sees the light bulb has the blood on it, but it's so hot from the light bulb, it's steaming. Did you notice that
Yes, but that
detail?
was
Like
good.
it's
I thought that was
No,
good
I
'cause
thought that was great. I
that's
did.
what
I'm agreeing
happened.
with you.
Yeah.
But of course, she said, looking, and she's seeing the blood, and she has to say things. She goes, blood? And then she says a few seconds later, what is going on here?
What? Why? Not really concerned, just confused.
It's
Why is
like,
there so much
what is, yeah.
blood? Is it the paint? There's a paint can. They show a red paint can in case, we're not sure why she was unsure if it was
Right.
blood. She's like, maybe it's paint in her mind.
And at this point, I'm a little, Eric, like, the score is doing work. You don't have to say anything. And then they have the drain. It's a
Again.
kind of a cool shot but the rivulets of blood are coming from like 5 different directions down, like little streams into
Yeah.
the drain. They did a good job, the director here, because you're like, oh, all that blood is going in the drain. And then cut to his hand reaches out and touches her shoulder.
Yes.
And she turns around and it's not his hand. It's his hand in the mouth of the deadly spawn. And they just give it to us right there, right?
And boy, it is when you see some creatures, you go, oh boy, this is not this creature. They put a lot of work. I mean, it's a mouthful of teeth. It's almost like an angry mutant penis. Can I say
Yes.
that? I can. It was bizarre, but also terrifying. Has no eyes.
It's like the terrifying cousin of the Little Shop of Horrors puppet, right? Like it's like the one who came from the wrong side of the tracks.
It's probably a better description that you just did, Art, than me saying it was a mutant penis with teeth. I probably should have thought about that a little bit more.
Our audience might like different ways of thinking.
Yeah. Your eloquent way of saying it, or me saying it's a big dick with teeth. Look at that. My God. But it was terrifying, right?
Well, good job on their part, because just as we're trying to process what this creature is, they go right for her face being ripped off. Like ripped off of her skull in a really convincing special effects shot. It worked for me. I out loud, Eric, sitting on my couch at night watching this, I said, whoa! I had like a visceral reaction to that. And the screams of the mom now segue into somebody else is in bed waking up. I have to say, I was very confused at this point where we were, what was going on. Another woman wakes up in bed hearing these screams, and she goes, but it's actually screams on the TV. We're going to meet Charles, the young kid, who is actually, it took me a while to figure this out, is Sam and Barb, who we've just seen get eaten by the deadly spawn. Charles is their son.
Yes, their youngest kid. And this is the aunt and uncle.
Yes.
Because at first I thought, what is this? Like a dorm for people over 40? I couldn't think. I'm like, what is? But
okay, so you were confused. You were confused as well. Yeah. I had no idea. I didn't even know if we were in the same house at first. I didn't know. And then there's expositional dialogue, which there's a lot of in this movie, fills it in a little bit later. But we go into the kid's room. She goes in, he's watching a TV on the floor, and he just has the room of King Kong, Godzilla, the ant from the movie Them, I noticed, was sitting on a table.
Yeah, I think from the 20,000 Fathoms.
Yes, yeah.
All sorts of great stuff. And he's just lying on the floor watching a horror movie. And that's
I did have to ask you, Eric. I said, maybe Eric noticed this. There's also like a mask head sitting on the floor that looked to me like Chewbacca with a horn on its head. Do you know?
Oh, yes, I do. It probably has one eye.
Yeah.
And it's either the Cyclops or it's another beast from either from either not Star Trek, Star Trek, early Star Trek, or this other monster that I'm thinking about. It's got a horn. It looks like a gorilla with a horn, basically.
Yeah, that's what. So we know this is the kid. We see a lot of this in the 80s, 90s. The kid that's sort of obsessed. This kid in a few years will be in high school, right, and will be Evil Ed, basically. In high school.
Yeah, Evil Ed from
Bright Night, right?
Could
be. Or the kid from Salem's Lot who loves all the old movies and has all the models and everything.
It's the love child of both those characters. That's what it is. He's
Yes,
the love child.
So
we're just establishing he's into that stuff, right?
And establishing that he's into horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then his brother, we meet his brother Peter, who Peter is into science.
Yeah, you couldn't tell by his room, though.
He has a telescope. Sitting behind him when he's talking on the phone is just all the planets.
Yes.
Which the execution is a little clunky and the dialogue is a little hokey. But I will say I appreciate what they're trying to do here. You got the one kid who's into monsters and the other person who's into science and space, and that's kind of what this movie is monsters from space. So you have these brothers that have these two different interests that are combining in the movie. If they had just played that subtly, I would have appreciated it a lot.
Oh yeah,
more.
they were like, hey, just so you know, the older brother's into science. You can tell because his room is covered with this stuff.
Right.
And while we're on the brother, he's an older brother. But you couldn't see, he had tidy whities on, but you couldn't see through those, Art. He wasn't wearing a mesh tank top.
And what I loved about this guy is his accent. I think this movie was filmed in New Jersey, but Jupiter, and every word that had like an ER at the end, it's not a Massachusetts accent. It was more like a New Jersey, New York type of thing. And it was just very funny having him be the scientific one as he keeps pronouncing things.
He wasn't stereotypically scientist-y. He looked like he was going to drive his car and smoke weed. That's what he
he did. He did look like
glasses. That. He had glasses, Art. So nerd.
We are introduced to him talking on the phone with his friend Frankie, and this expositional phone call is interminable, Eric. It went on for so long. Hey, is Ellen coming? And then then he's talking about space and about science and all these discussions that I can appreciate that a screenplay writer would want to think about these things as far as themes of the movie. But man, at this point, I think this is what you're talking about when we started the podcast. I was like, whoo. Because we've already seen the Spawn rip off a face. So I want things to start ramping up or...
I fast forwarded through that scene. And then when I watched it again, because I'm like, I have to watch this scene, I was really focused on the wallpaper. I thought was really cool. You know, every room has something, you know?
Right.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
So we have to point out that the reason why... The mom and dad that got killed, they were supposed to do something in the morning, so everybody thinks they're gone. And the uncle and the aunt are here because the parents of Charles are a little concerned that he might be crazy because he's into horror movies too much.
Yeah, the uncle is a therapist or a psychologist or psychiatrist or something.
Couldn't tell by looking at him, could you? In the film?
He looks like...
He's like, so my glasses, let me touch some of it. He was actually not bad of an actor.
He was well cast, and the aunt was quirky. She was a little quirky, which I appreciated in this movie because let's address something here right at the start. The two sons who are our central characters are not giving us a lot of charisma. Either of them.
No.
Yeah, and they're going to be our heroes. So I'm kind of appreciating these two actors that are playing the aunt and uncle a little bit.
Yeah.
However,
aunt's going for it. She's like on stage, like the way she was whisking the eggs. I thought she was manic. She's like, oh no, I'm talking about the eggs.
and talking about she needs to go over this afternoon to her mom's house for a vegetarian luncheon.
Vegetarian
A
luncheon.
vegetarian luncheon. Her mom's going to be making her famous tomato and lentil stew. She's
Famous.
going to be doing, famous.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a party.
And so-
it's a veggie party, dinner party.
Yes,
That's great.
yes,
And early
which-
in the morning, apparently.
We'll get, yes, because it's not much time has gone by.
Right?
But this is where I started to put together, we're in the house. These are these kids' parents. I'm like, so the two parents got murdered in the basement by the spawn with the screams that we heard and the noise, and nobody in the house heard this.
Well,
nobody in the house.
The kids watching the horror movies got it up way too much. The aunt's like, well, we got up early than we usually do. Anyone want to know why?
Okay, fair. I didn't hear. I didn't
Yeah,
connect
it's
that. I thought
TV,
the
man.
parents were maybe murdered a little earlier.
No, I have kids and they scream. They're adults now and they still scream. Do I go up and look and see if it's a monster? No, I'm like, oh,
That's true.
screaming for no reason.
And so the aunt and the uncle are discussing Charles and
Charlie.
the psychologist uncle, he's going to have a little talk with Charles, like a little free therapy to see, what he thinks of him. But meantime, Charles is trying to scare his aunt. He puts on a costume and we start to see he has flashbang powder.
Oh yeah.
And he's putting together I did kind of like that after the uncle's like, an aunt like, well, he's probably harmless. They cut to him basically making a bomb with the flash powder. I don't know if that was intentional, but I did kind of laugh at that. He's putting flash powder in like a little tinfoil thing and he puts on a costume. It's a guy with a weird face. You probably know the mask.
It's a leper.
It's a leper.
He's
That's the actual
as a leper. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's not scared at all. She doesn't get scared because she sees his toe poking out of his sock underneath, and she's like, "Oh, big deal,"
Yeah, and he uses the flash powder. It's like this special effect. So he's really into this stuff.
Yes, very much into this. They come downstairs. We just hear a lot more, Eric, about how Peter is a scientist. We hear that a lot more. Peter is down.
The breakfast table.
At the table, the breakfast table. You like that. You like science. You like astronomy. You like, this is just.
I mean, just don't beat us over the head with it.
Oh my God. And this conversation goes on for a long time. Charles comes down. He's got his comic book. So we know again that he's into creatures like the creature from beyond and the thing from another world, which of course we all know the thing from another world, that movie. So that's keying me off. We got flashbang powder. We're talking about electricians, and I'm thinking about the end of thing from another world, right? And so my mind is already going there. Then a camera has to show us as somebody walks by a window, the car is still in the garage of the parents.
But
Eric, we as the audience already know they're dead. We don't need to.
Well, just in case, Art, just in case we forgot that the kid likes monsters, he has to come down dressed as one.
Right. But I was like, we know that the parents are dead. We saw them get eaten. I don't know why we need to see the car.
Well, in case we forgot that they weren't walking. Yeah. I don't know. The car's still there. Wah, wah, wah.
Right.
And it's like a Cadillac. It's one of those cars that's as long. It's a mile long. Huge car.
Yeah, like that. And it's in a barn or something. It doesn't even look like an actual garage. It looks like they just tucked that car in there because we needed that shot.
We did.
All of us.
16 millimeter.
So then we proceed. So the uncle is going to give him a little psychoanalysis. The creepiest and most boring psychoanalysis scene I've ever seen in a movie. Eric, here's my rendition of it. So, you like scaring people? I don't know, maybe. So, like monsters, huh? Monsters are okay. Do you think monsters are real? Maybe. I don't know. But you ever get scared of bears or tiger's coming to get you. I don't know. Maybe Bigfoot.
Maybe
You afraid of the
Bigfoot.
dark? You afraid of the dark? Afraid of the dark? No. Maybe sometimes. Maybe. Erik, at this point, my first time through, which I don't ever do, my temptation to hit that fast forward button was so great. I was like, how much more of this can we possibly do? I guess it is seeding that he doesn't really get scared of things, right?
I think that's what they were trying to get across.
They're trying to do, which is important for what happens later.
Yeah.
Right. And that he's not scared of the dark, really. So it is giving us that information. But boy, it tested my patience.
Oh my God, but it stuck with you. I would say that was an awesome rendition. People can now fast forward to that scene because you just did it.
I did it. And sorry to the listeners if that was really boring, but
no, that was awesome.
I wanted to put you through it too.
They'll want to see this film just to hear that scene and see how well you did it. Maybe Bigfoot.
Yeah, but now things, thankfully, in this movie are going to get started because the electrician shows up. The electrician shows up.
And there's a note on the door, so he knows to go right to the creepy-ass basement.
A lot of notes. This family likes leaving notes everywhere.
Yeah.
The fridge, there's a ton of them on the fridge. There's one out.
Yeah, that was for us. So we know that they're writing a note. We're going somewhere.
Yeah.
The electrician has to go in the basement.
I will remind the listeners, we already know the parents are dead. We watched them die. So, so the electrician shows up and then things start to get cool because we see in the therapist's office, he's working, the uncle, and the walls are kind of flexing, right? And the floor is moving, like they're kind of making this cool effect. Yeah, right.
But here's what I love about that scene. Remember, this is the morning, right? This is morning. They just had breakfast. Okay, so the psychologist, they just got up and had breakfast. What's he want to do? Sit in a chair and immediately fall asleep because he's so tired from that session.
Right.
I mean, how much time has passed? An hour?
Right.
What the hell?
It feels like it. Let me tell you. It feels like an hour. It hasn't been that long, but it feels like an hour since we last saw a Deadly Spawn.
Yeah, not a long film either. So
No. So yeah, he goes down, and then I think Charles, his idea is I'm going to scare the electrician.
Right. Yes.
Which is great because I'm like, this guy he doesn't even know is coming over and he's gonna scare him. And was that a Planet of the Apes mask he had on?
Good call. Yeah. Specifically who? Who was it, Art? Which ape was it?
It looked blondish, right?
Yes.
So it would have been one of the orangutan type people. Zaius? Was it Dr. Zaius?
Dr.
Oh,
Zaius.
great. Look at me.
It was Dr. Zaius. We all talk like this because we can't really use our lips. Planet of the Apes.
So he puts that on, and I have to say, for a kid that has a closet, we see his closet later with pretty cool costumes in that closet. He puts on a CVS devil cape that looks like it costs like $1.99.
Yeah, I know. Why didn't he go with the leper? Instead, he's like Dr. Zaius, vampire devil.
Right.
Like a little devil with a big collar on him.
I did like this just because it's nostalgia. He grabs the red flashlight with the white switch on it, which I think every house in America had in the 1970s and 1980s. I just knew that flashlight as soon as he grabbed it. And he goes downstairs and he hears something. Is it the crunching, Erik?
You want to hear what he hears? I can help you with that.
Yeah. What does he hear?
Well, kid makes no facial emotions, by the way. They said, look around. That's all you do. And he's hearing this. He's hearing like, like that. That's what he's hearing.
And this is where I talked about the flashlights earlier. Is I see the low budget coming through here. He's shining the flashlight around, and you can see that somebody behind him has a light, and they're not quite synced with where he's shining the. You notice this too?
Yes, I was like, Art is gonna catch this. The only reason I noticed that was because of you, because I'm like, Art's gonna catch this. Where, yeah, I'm like, the flashlight's always barely illuminating anything until they want you to illuminate, and then there's some guy back there, probably
Yeah.
the same guy that squirts the blood. He's probably like,
Right.
oh, you want the? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's like it's always just like a little behind the flashlight. But he's seeing the blood and everything, but because he's so silent, he's not saying blood like the other
Nope.
one
Nope.
was.
What?
So, but he's hearing those sounds, like you said, and there is a good shot. He's shining the flashlight. He turns around to us, and the dust is in the flashlight beam.
That was good. Yep.
That's a
that was good
great,
shot. Yep.
great shot,
Yep.
right? And he's going and he sees this, here's that ugly, scratching and hissing sound. And then he sees below. We're thinking, oh, he's going to see the creature, right? He's going to shine the flashlight, see this creature. I love the way that they introduce this. He sees that tadpole thing first, like
Yes.
this tadpole.
Yeah, they're like
Right?
little they look like tadpoles, but they're a little bit longer. You know what they look like is similar, very similar in a way to the alien, the chest burster.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little bit like that, yeah.
And he sees one just sort of swimming through the puddle that's in the basement there. It's going through. I actually read how they did that. They put a groove in the floor. You read this, Eric? Yeah.
Yep.
And it like in an S shape. And so
Mhm.
that when they pulled it across, it went through the S shape and its tail would wag across. It's a good effect. It looks good.
It is. And in
racing
fact,
around.
when I rewatched it and I was looking for it and I saw it, I was like, oh,
Mhm.
there it is. But I have to say, again, for low budget, they were very artistic. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Artistic.
Yeah.
Because they made the creature go through spilled paint a little bit, and it was this gorgeous little yeah.
Because that's a great way to do what they did.
Yeah, and they did a good job.
So he sees the tadpole, and then he's
Oh.
looking tadpole in the water. He sees first the hand with like ripped flesh on it
Yeah.
sitting in the water. Wasn't that great of an effect?
No.
But then they cut to the full creature, and yeah,
Yeah, it is. I don't say it's gorgeous, but it's gorgeous. It's a three-headed mass of flesh with one big ass head in the middle with, I don't know, 75 rows of teeth. I don't know how many teeth, but like they must have spent so much time on the teeth. And it's got these like arm type of things with little mouth heads on it. And it's just like, I thought that was, I'm like, oh, wow. Yes.
and sort of on the lower half of it, the electrician is there. Once again, I'm sitting on my couch and I go, oh, it has all the little baby tadpoles are like feeding on the electrician. They're chewing away at the electrician's torso and his face and
Yes.
eating it in this puddle. Honestly, that's up there with any big budget film I've seen. That effect was
Yep. The lighting helped. The lighting helped the scene a little bit, but all the critters, I'm a big critter fan, so all the creatures were different sizes. You know, they were pulling at his face, and I thought it reminded me of like kittens or piglets.
yes,
like suckling on
yeah, and they're making and the sound design, like you said, they have all that sound going, and then this is where he starts to shine the light around, and you see that they're kind of everywhere. These
Yes.
creatures are everywhere in the basement. They're all over the place, and we should note he's not reacting. He's not shouting. He's not screaming, which is important. What we learn later.
because the kid needs therapy, Art. He needs a little therapy. This is not affecting him in a way that it should.
And this is great. He looks to the side, and we see in the foreground, one of them tips over a yellow paint can. The yellow paint goes down into the water where another tadpole is there, and it hits the top of the tadpole. And I just thought this was great. Then we see that tadpole skitter through the water away from us, but it's trailing a yellow plume behind it, and it is yellow, and so you can see it sort of glowing as it goes away.
Yeah,
And
that's what I said, Art, earlier in the podcast, and you completely ignored me.
yeah,
But that's all right. No, your description actually is better because that's where this low budget, they do what they can to make it cool. That was
Yeah.
it was cool, that scene with the paint.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
what?
Well, and then we see that the head drops. We're
Yes!
breaking this all down. There's a head that drops down the ground, and
It's the mom. It's the mom's head.
it's the mom's head.
Yes.
And then we see the yellow one. It has the yellow streak on it. They're eating the head. And what's great by them doing the yellow, right? Because we're seeing so many of these. What it's telling us is these things are growing at a rapid rate, because the little yellow tadpole now is bigger as it's chewing, just a little bit bigger as it's chewing on the mom's head. And a few minutes later, we're going to see it, and it's even bigger.
So I didn't even, wow, good catch.
Yeah.
I didn't even
so
see that.
by putting the yellow on it, we start to realize that these things grow at kind of a rapid rate if they feed on people. That's what I think. Yeah.
I didn't catch that. I'm going to say again, because I didn't know that that's what they were doing with that. So good for them.
So once again, he's frozen. I can't tell if he's in shock, if he's a terrible actor. Like I can't, I'm kind of like, he's just observing this, but it's okay. It's okay because it's very weird. All this stuff, I have to say, they've done great special effects. It's a weird environment. It's in this basement. So the fact that he's just sitting there observing it, he's sort of like us. We're like, what? Ooh. What?
Yeah.
But the fact that he's seeing his mom's face being ripped apart by these things
God.
is he's not reacting. But we then cut to Peter's friends arrive.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut upstairs. This is going down in the basement. This is all going down in the basement. Right above him, they come in, the friends. It's Ellen, who I really like. I like this actress. I thought she was one of the best parts of the film. Like, she's just got a lot of charisma. She just seems like the good girlfriend role in one of these movies. She's into science, but she's also open to imagination. And she comes in with Frankie, who's in over.
You're laughing because of the eye roll I just made. Frankie. I thought he's like Patrick from SpongeBob. I don't understand the sciencey stuff. I mean, it was really.
And he's got overalls and I guess maybe that was a style back then. But what's interesting is, are we supposed to think that Frankie and Ellen are a couple, or we're not sure? We're not sure.
We listened to some of the dialogue, so we're not sure. But we're supposed to think that this may or may not be your boyfriend, but also the brother is interested.
Peter is interested in Ellen. So but I will tell you, Ellen. So Ellen comes in with Frankie, and they have found on the way there, they found on the side of the road or in a gutter, one of these tadpoles. So that tells us this isn't just happening in this house. That tells us outside in the world too, these things are out there, and they don't know what it is. They bring it in. They're talking about it. It's another interminable discussion about science and what to believe, and they're standing over the sink. However, what I like about it is the actress, great job. No, Peter isn't sure about Frankie and Ellen's relationship. Let me tell you, from watching Ellen, she is into Peter.
Oh yeah.
Every line she delivers to Peter, she is exuding, I want to jump your bones.
But
not over the top. Not over the top. She's good, but she's biting her lip a little. She's looking over at him, and I was like, okay, I'm like this. I said either the script wants us to think this, and the actors and the director want us to think this, or the actress literally is attracted to him. But Peter is just I don't want to speak. It's a sort of just not a great job of an actor here.
No, they weren't. No.
Yeah. So they decide they're going to dissect this creature.
Okay. All right. So that's what I want to ask you about that scene. When you're watching the dissection with the little razor blade, was there another movie that you were thinking of? Because I thought they've got to be ripping this straight off of it without ripping it off. Straight out of the other movie.
Are you thinking are you thinking Alien when they're cutting it and then the acid goes out of it? No, or I don't know.
I was thinking of Little House on the Prairie. No, not a movie, by the way. Do Daddy, look, I found an alien. Oh, let's open it up, hon. Ooh.
Da, 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 da.
except with different music. They that looked like it was an homage to or a ripoff of Ash cutting open the face hugger and taking it apart. And I have to say, it rivaled the effects because it really looked like she was dissecting something that was had organs in it.
And it's wordless. Like there's no dialogue as they're doing which made me think that possibly they just did it. The special effects people did it on the side somewhere and the actors weren't there and they didn't want to dub stuff in. But did you notice nobody's going like, "Oh, look at that," or "Oh, I'm trying to cut through here," or "Where is this organs?" But it's just silent and they have the music, but the razors cutting through it. Now, at first, I will be honest, when they cut the first layer open, I thought it looked like they were cutting open a steak that they got from the deli at the market. Like it looked a little like that.
Well,
but then once they get through that first layer, right, that would be it. But they got through that first layer. It gets more interesting as it's going on. Now, this is all intercut now with basement stuff that's going on. Right. It slam cuts when they start the thing to the face just ripping pieces off the face. These creatures are ripping them off the face. And Charles is down the basement, still just standing there watching everything.
Yeah, they're showing you how fast they also eat because the mom's face almost becomes a skull fairly quickly, and then they drag it off. Like what I love is these creatures are so slow sometimes, but yet they can drag. They're good at dragging stuff. They're good at pulling people out from under their legs and dragging heads away. They're very good at it.
And once again, great shot of Charles with the creature behind him. The creature looks great. But this is where we also start to put together what's going on here because a mousetrap slams shut on one of the tadpoles. I guess it's after the cheese on the mousetrap.
Could be.
And they all react. Every creature in the place kind of goes, what, and Charles clocks this, right? He sees that this is happening.
And in case we didn't realize he was clocking it, they make sure that we know that he's taking this all in. I mean, like close-up shots of him. Then he's like, "Oh, if I make noise, will it work?" And then slowly snapping his finger, and then he does it again. I'm like, "Oh, we get it. Sound. Okay, they're attracted to sound. We got it.
But when he does the snap, that thing moves closer to him, and we get a really good shot of the big mouth, the teeth, the stuff just dripping. The slime. This is straight, by the way, out of Alien. This is that gooey slime dripping off the mouth. It is just a good special effect shot, but it's moving closer and closer to him. But he's not moving, and he's not saying a word.
Nope.
So, yeah.
For a short movie, there's a lot going on. There's like three different things that are going to be going on here.
Yeah, how does he get out? Does he throw the flashlight against the wall and it kind of goes over?
He throws the flashlight. Waste of a good flashlight. No, those were pretty cheap.
But we also start to realize he gets rid of the flashlight. That goes back to he's not really that afraid of the dark. I think that goes to like he's okay to sit there quietly in the dark and not be and not have this thing come after him. Why he doesn't start to quietly try to get out of the basement, I don't know.
And there's literally dozens of various sized monsters here in the basement. Alien monsters.
But so we have the people upstairs dissecting. We have him in the basement, but we got to cut away because Erik, there's a vegetarian dinner party going on.
This is a whole separate podcast right here. It's a whole separate one about the dinner.
Yeah. So the aunt goes over to her mother's house and there's ceramic squirrels everywhere and ceramic animals all over the place.
All kinds of ceramic animals. Yeah, you know what's missing though, Art? What the mom calls out is they just don't make ceramic gorillas. They're vegetarians.
Yeah. And as she's making it, I like this stuff, right? She starts making them, and the little creature comes up out of the drain, is eating the lettuce, is eating the kale. And then she has the water, a little stream of water, and it's sort of like yum, 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 eating the water out of there. So you're like, okay, they're in the house. They're in this house too over there.
Oh, right.
And
Yes, we want to point out it's a separate house
it's a separate house. So
down the
we're
road. Oh, she wanted to do with the movie is it's raining. Why is
Mhm.
it raining? Why is it important? I'm not sure, but it's still raining.
Meanwhile, back at the house, right? Peter and Ellen are sitting on the bed, and Frankie comes back, and notice Peter pops up off the bed from sitting next to Ellen
Yeah.
when Frankie
Yeah.
comes back in the room. Yeah. And this is where I noticed, like, oh, Frankie, you're always going on about the house flies from Jupiter.
Yeah, what if they're just trying to point out that he maybe won't believe that there's
Yes.
monsters.
Well,
I guess.
because he has such a tragic end, Peter. We'll see that. It's so
Yeah.
tragic. So if they send Frankie again out of the room up to the attic, get rid of him, right?
They have
And
a
then
little,
we have
romantic moment.
they have a kiss. Zero chemistry.
Oh
in
my
that
God.
she's bringing everything to the moment, and he is. It's like I would have rather seen what the scene would look like if she kissed one of the deadly spawn.
Right.
Right.
Oh.
There probably would have been more chemistry there.
That was a lip smush. It reminded me like of an old movie. That's what it was. We're like, okay, you're gonna kiss here. It was
She's.
so funny. Like it was
I
like
like-
a high school stage kiss almost. You guys got a kiss here. Okay.
There's no chemistry. She's bringing a lot, though. I like her. I like Ellen
good.
in this.
Good.
Yeah. So we got to go back to the mother's house. Everybody's arriving for the vegetarian dinner party.
Yeah.
Guests arrive, and they come into the house as if they are in a community theater production of The Music Man, and they're playing the gossipy women. They come on, and they're just like all this improv dialogue, and they come in. They each, Eric, have to bring out their dish and explain to us what it is. Oh my God, you brought your Swedish soy balls.
No, you're famous. What was it? Your
famous.
Swedish soy balls.
And then the other woman goes, Bunny.
Bunny's the name. That's right.
Bunny, she goes, Bunny, not your lentil and tomato stew.
With the special green sauce.
Yes, so that's what she says. And then what, Eric? What was that thing that she brought out? It was like a bunny in the middle of the.
I have no idea. It was a plate of lettuce, and it's like something you bring to Easter that no one will eat. It's like it was a little animal face in the middle. All I could think of was, is it made out of prune? What is it? Because it's not meat. Is it some?
I don't know. And then Eric, she goes, a woman goes, you've done it again.
They did such a great job of that scene. I mean,
Yes.
very stagey, but we want to point out their names because you said Bunny.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught the other names, but
No, I didn't catch the
oh my God. Hildy. All right, Nibs. All right. And here's the killer. Ready?
Yeah.
Hildy Nibs and Juju.
Hildy Nibs. But I do have to say, I love them. I love them. I love
Hildy Nibs and Juju. You've done it again.
I love them. You've done it again. So meanwhile, as this is going on, we're seeing one of the little tadpole guys getting in the food processor because he likes that kale. He likes that.
The green sauce. He's getting in the green sauce.
And so Bunny comes in to make her green sauce. She hits the food processor. I love the sound, Eric. It goes, right? He goes, ee! And you're thinking, wouldn't you, if you started a food processor and you heard something inside go like, yeah, right?
It's the kale. Kale's squeaky. Yeah, they get little emotions, those guys. Apparently they feel pain.
Oh my God.
It was almost like gremlins. They're like,
and meanwhile, the aunt is in the other room. She's trying to call the house or the parents or something.
Yep.
And what I love about this is she's in the other room and she comes out to pandemonium. Absolute pandemonium, which we heard nothing of in the next room of this ranch house. Like on the.
Yeah.
And they even knew it because you know what, Eric? If you notice, they slide up the sound as she crosses the threshold and enters the room. The sound fades in of all the women screaming.
And these are all, well, let's point out that this is exactly what you think they are if you didn't see the movie. They are like perky senior ladies.
And they're going for it, though. I give them that. These older actresses are, one of them is on the floor, and I don't know what she's doing. She's slapping her own thigh really, really, really hard while one of the puppet things is eating her foot. And the other one is pulling her face off. Like,
yes, that's the mom. That's Bunny.
Yeah, Bunny. Yeah,
that's Bunny.
And
maybe that's what the treat was. Maybe it was a bunny.
That's right. Oh, you've done it again.
But
you've done it again.
Here's why, Art. She's hitting her thighs because they said, "Don't you dare hit the creature. That's expensive."
Right. I think you're right. And then there's a woman up on a sofa and she's jumping around and this is great. Which one is she, Erik? The one who has a shoe. She has her shoe. That's
the one who says you've done it again. That's her.
She's the Rambo of the group.
Yes.
She's great. She's smacking these things, but they're below the frame. So she's just taking that shoe and smacking these things. And one of them's chewing a woman's leg. One of them's got Bunny.
Yep. They're behind a painting. Remember the shoe gets hit with the painting falls away?
Yes, there's a bunch of them behind the painting. You're realizing they're everywhere. They're in the planter. They're even on the ceramic giraffe fighting over a piece of lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the women, none of them perish here. They get each other out of there and leave no woman behind. And bringing up the rear is with the shoe. She's backing out the door and smacking that shoe around, and she's going to make sure that they all get out of there. And I was like, good for them.
Yeah. And fun fact, you can tell she's the head of the group because she's the driver. She gets in the driver's seat and it shows all of these bedraggled seniors that were just assaulted by monsters getting into the family car to get out of there. And they all made it. They all made it. Bunny, Hildy, Nibs, and Juju all made it.
They did. Yeah, that was a scene that I enjoyed it. But it did have some good special effects when Bunny was getting bit on the face. So back at the house, Frankie goes into the study and Uncle Therapist is sitting in the chair and he's kind of vibrating. Yeah.
Yeah, remember the therapist that was in the movie? Yeah, the guy that was sleeping there.
But he's vibrating and we just see the things are eating him from the inside out.
Yeah.
They're coming out they're eating out his eyeballs out of his head. And then one does the literal chest burster.
Yep.
Almost like legally actionable imitation of the chest burster.
And the uncle, I'll point out, is a very heavy sleeper because he didn't move from when he fell asleep. So he's a deep sleeper. They ate him from the inside and he stayed in the chair.
He was, I have to say, Erik, though, he was a pretty chill guy.
He was chill. He's like,
chill.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Just like his nephews.
Yep.
He's not bringing a lot to the party.
A lot.
And at this point, we see the creature sort of in more light now because it comes at Peter and Ellen and it's chasing them. It's kind of a funny shot because it's got to move across the kitchen floor and it's kind of shuffling at Jabba the Hutt. When we see Jabba the Hutt move, it's kind of shimmying across the floor towards them.
Yes. I was trying to think, how does this creature get around so fast? Because it basically has no legs. It's like a big slug bottom, and it's like so.
They tried to address that, I think, when they were doing the dissect. When they were talking about it earlier, remember she was saying it has antipodes or something on it, like vestigial feet or limbs or something.
Yeah,
but it's maybe like tremors, right? The things that can move. Yeah. But it looked a little weird there. It's still a great looking creature as it's chasing them.
Like you said, it was full light. This is not
full light. They're
like
not hiding.
All the lights are on. Even though the electrician was supposed to do some work, we saw like sparks. We saw creatures chewing on stuff. But no, they've got light. Yeah. They got electricity. Actually.
As I mentioned earlier, the producer did admit that there's some weird things with electricity here.
They just needed to kill someone else. That's why they got the electrician.
Charles is now up there. He's trying to distract it with the radio. He puts the radio on the table and he's pulling the radio towards him to get the thing to come towards him. But then the doorbell rings. And this is a new person. This is Kathy.
Yes, I have to say, it was a breath of fresh air when Kathy came in. I liked Kathy. I'm like, why does it take you so long to get here, Kathy?
Okay,
She's got a little bit of acting. She's kind of fun, but right away she gets pulled into the horror.
Oh yeah, she comes in. She's got great energy. I agree with you. She's got the kind of the hair from the 80s. She's like, you just know. It's funny. I thought to myself, oh, they did a good job with that. And then I'm like, no, this was filmed in the 80s. That's probably actually.
Well, it was
hair.
raining. It was raining. Right. Maybe she had.
So I thought that Kathy was going to get eaten right there. I thought the door was going to open and the creature was going to get her. Right.
Yep.
And no, she goes up to the top of the steps, and Peter, Frankie, and Ellen are hiding in Peter's room, and they open the door, and she's like, hey, what's going on? And then the creature's right behind her and nearly gets her. I thought it got her, actually. Did you?
I did too, yeah.
Yeah, but she makes it into the room, and the best line of the movie, great line delivery, right, by Kathy, right? What did she say?
What the fuck was that?
It was perfect. Perfect delivery, perfect moment. That was great. She did a great job there. And Peter's trying to go out. He's looking at the door, and it's a great framed shot because you have a photo behind him as he's looking out the door of a creature from a movie, like one of those old 50s horror creatures.
Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
And so its arm is like literally right over Peter's head. And then Peter goes out, and poor Ellen is in the room by herself now with the creature banging down the door.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, how are they going to get Ellen out of this? Is Charles going to come up? Is Charles going to distract it? How is Ellen going to get out of this? And I was so sad. I was sad.
Well, here's the fun fact. Are you ready?
Okay.
So that actor is supposed to live through the movie. And she had another gig. So they said, all right, well, we'll have to kill off your character. And that's when Kathy took over. So her incredibly vicious death was so she could go do her other gig. Like, oh no, we're going to let you live through the movie. Well, I get this other thing. All right, well, we'll just take your head off and throw you out the window then. We'll let Kathy be the final girl.
So this is a better kiss than she had with Peter, but the spawn basically bites her head right off.
Yeah, a lot of tongue there. A lot of tongue.
A lot of, bites right off. And then this explains this then, because up to this point, I'm like, they're pretty meticulous with a lot of the special effects in here. The mannequin looks terrible. A headless mannequin falls through the window.
It's tossed out of the window from the second floor.
It looks bad. So I'm like, oh, is this something that they had to do very quickly? And so your information kind of explains that to me.
The director was probably pissed and like, you know what? Just get that dummy and we'll throw the dummy out the window. I'm sick of this. You said you're going to do the whole movie.
So her headless body ends up outside.
Yeah, okay, there,
But Peter, meanwhile, is escaped out onto the roof and is, I have to say, it's pouring rain, I think, in reality. I don't think that's like a rain machine. And Peter is basically doing parkour all over the roof of this house. Did you see this? I was like, this actor it's him, but he's scrambling around this wet roof of a house, around the eaves, up over things. I wish it was in service of something. Nothing's really chasing him, but it looked good.
He was very parkouring it, I would say. And Art, I think you just discovered why it's raining is probably when they shot that scene. They're like, oh shit, it's raining. They said, well, we're going to have to make it rain through the whole movie then. Maybe that was it.
True. Yeah.
It was raining. There's no way they had a rain machine for that.
And of course, once again, he sees the car in the garage. So I guess he puts together that his parents never left. So we get to watch him understand that, which is good. And so meanwhile, Frankie and Kathy are stuck in the attic. They look out the window. It's It's great. They're looking, we see them from the back and they're doing that acting thing of like, oh my God, what are those things? They're pointing clearly. We're not seeing anything out the window because the effects budget probably at this point is gone. So they're like, look at that. Look at all those things.
There's one there. There's one there on
Yes.
the tree.
Right.
On
But
the
we're not
lawn.
getting to see them everywhere. I have to say that Peter gets in the window. So they take him in. And I think what we're supposed to think at this point is Peter, the man of science,
Yeah.
his mind, he's blown a circuit, but the way he's dealing with it is he's insisting that there isn't anything out there. They're imagining this and we should just go out. And meanwhile, Frankie and Kathy are like, what, are you crazy? They're trying to pull him back from opening the door, right? And Peter opens the door and the thing comes in. And Kathy is an exquisite scream queen. She is terrified and she's screaming. She's going for it. She looks scared. She is selling this as this thing.
It's breaking through the door like Jack Nicholson. I'm surprised it didn't go, here's monsters. But it was good. I did notice because, set construction and painting and things, I'm always into that.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I'm like, oh, that looks like they painted that door, made it, a little bit.
Yes.
I'm like, is that a set design?
Yes, it painted it to look like it was wood, like,
but
and
it still was good. And the monster again coming in the attic, right? So are they still in the attic at that point, or do they?
They're in the attic. They're in the attic.
Right?
This Charlie is now trying to put together a way to defeat this thing.
In the kitchen, he realizes that when the monster eats the radio those radios were dangerous early on, in the 80s, because that thing caught on fire, man. And he noticed that the thing can burn. So then he goes into his room and starts putting together. He starts MacGyvering a bomb with the flash.
Yes.
All the stuff we saw, clay, the masks. He's doing a really good job. He's got wires. He snipped apart his lamp. He's like he's MacGyver.
Yeah, he's carrying like stuff up the stairs. He's got the wire. So the plan is he's gonna have it eat this mask. He'll plug it into the socket and it'll blow up and burn the I guess the master creature, right?
The biggest one, I guess.
Yeah.
Which to me is still like, well, there's like hundreds more. So what's the big deal about the biggest?
I didn't know. Yeah, because we'll get to it.
All right.
Like what happens, because I have the questions too. So he's distracting it. It comes over. It's a pretty well constructed climax here. He's trying to get it, and the thing doesn't seem to be wanting to take the bait.
No, he's holding it out with a ski pole, right? He puts it on a ski pole. He's like,
but I think because there's no sound coming from it.
Yep.
It's not biting. It's not taking the bait.
Mm-mm.
And so he just screams, and it chomps down on the head. But one of the sub creatures that's attached to it, one of its arms, goes after Charlie, and he shoves the ski pole in its kind
mouth.
of a good effect.
Yeah.
He stabs it in its mouth. But then he has to get the cord, and he's trying to plug the cord in, but it's not reaching.
Well, the monster's swallowing the head, and the cord's going into his mouth.
Yeah.
And to me, I thought, okay, this monster has like 1,000 teeth, and he doesn't snap that cord at all. He's very careful to leave the extension cord intact. So he reaches almost into the monster's mouth to get the cord back out.
And then Charlie, I can't remember the exact chronology, but is he frustrated and he slaps his hand down on the floor? So that makes another creature kind of comes down on him, right?
Yeah,
and is attacking him.
Yes, we're so excited about this movie. What happens is he realizes the cord doesn't reach. So, and he's got some extra cord in his pocket. So he puts the two things together. And for me, I keep thinking logistically, which is dumb. Again, CinemaSins, thank you for me knowing every problem with every movie. He doesn't tie the cords together. So I'm thinking, well, they're just going to pop out again. But he starts slamming his hand to make the creature come towards him so that he can plug it in. And in the meantime, another fairly good sized, it looked like a sand shark sized creature lands on him, but he stabs the hell out of it.
Yeah,
with
he has a
something.
knife or something,
A
and
knife,
he's
yeah.
stabbing it, but it screams, and the big one comes towards us, and we think, oh, it's going to get Charlie,
Yep.
but it eats the one that's on Charlie. It
Yep.
grabs that, so it's eating one of its own. We're
Yep.
seeing it chomp
Yep.
through and eat one of its own.
Yep.
And then Charlie has room now to plug in the thing, like Doc Brown in Back to the
Yep.
Future.
Oh!
And this is where I'm like, okay, little higher budget or having more budget, you would have seen some type of big explosion, but we just see it from Charlie's point of view, and then they cut to the thing sort of smoldering. We don't see a big explosion that you'd normally want in this moment.
Yeah,
right?
I think there was a lot of you heard it, and there was splatters and stuff.
Yes,
But
on the wall.
big creature is now dead.
So that's and then Erik.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Okay, well, we cut now to the aftermath of this. We cut to the
Yeah, and we'll point out that the four characters are alive.
Yes, they're alive.
They're alive.
Do you remember the Night of Living Dead? Famous horror movie?
Yep.
Yeah. And at the end of the Night of Living Dead, after what happens to the people in the house, we sort of see how the world is dealing with the zombies.
They certainly didn't take it from that movie. It's not almost exactly what's happening.
Except this is like they took extras from Benny Hill and they let them improvise. They just said, it's chaos. Go. And you have people running all over the place with shovels, with whatever. But there's no money, I think, anymore for creatures. We see a couple of them, but they're just stabbing the hedges with stuff. And also outside the house where we've been the whole time. Clearly, they rented a police cruiser and an ambulance. It looks like the Ghostbusters ambulance, that style of ambulance. They have people in police outfits, but the extras, Erik, this is where I'm trying not to laugh. They're in full doctor coats with stethoscopes around them.
No, I missed
on their necks.
Oh my God.
Stethoscopes running around. But there's multiple, like they're running around back and forth. And also, I think that the direction, they had a few things. They're like, okay, you two come together really fast and then go away from each other really fast. I watched this scene over probably like 4 times.
No way.
Because I was so enamored of this chaos that was going on. So then you see that Frankie and Kathy are in the police car together. They're kind of snuggled up to one side.
Kathy.
And then Frankie kind of gently wipes Kathy's face, strategically missing the only smudge of dirt she has on her cheek. He kind of touches, like, it's as if they said, don't touch that because we might have to do another take. And Kathy, what I think is supposed to be happening here is Kathy's supposed to be, we've been through something. Kathy does not, there's zero chemistry again. Zero, like, I totally am looking at it going like, this actress, she's just going to do her moment of she's in shock after everything that happened. And then they bring out Peter, and Peter is a catatonic mess. It's as if we're watching the end of, remember Sorcerer with Roy Scheider at the end, where he's been through hell and he's walking and he just collapses. His mind has been blown so much. And they have these doctors. It looks like they're doctors, not paramedics, on each side. And I swear, Erik, go watch it again. They're twins. They look like twins. And the mother pulls up. Oh my God, where's Charlie? We cut to an overhead shot with these extras bouncing off each other like they're atoms, like they're electrons or protons. And Charlie's there. Once again, there's nobody's saying anything. And Charlie's catatonic sitting on the ground, and he gets up and then they drive off. But then we're not done yet.
No, we're not done yet. But I do want to point out that here's where I think where the director had to kind of piece together something is because I believe that in the cop car, were they in the cop car? Not in the ambulance, in the cop car.
Yeah.
Were they going to jail?
Yeah.
But I think in that cop car, in my thought was that, that was supposed to be the what's her name that got her head taken off. She was supposed to be in that cop car, and Kathy was the one who was going to get chomped. But so I thought they
Yes.
probably had to switch the dynamic around so she can't get together with who the
Peter,
hell are these people? So she has to get together with Peter.
Frankie.
She can't get together with the older
No,
brother.
and
Yeah,
we
it's
will
not over
too.
yet. It's not over yet.
It's not over.
No, it's a
I
little
think it's
epilogue,
over.
little epilogue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're back to we have to cut to. Remember, everybody, we mentioned that interstitial model or photo of the house.
Yeah. Well, the cops are
At the
cleaning
beginning.
up, right? The cops are
Cops are
raiding
cleaning up.
like, oh yeah, I saw one 3 feet long. Oh, I saw one. The one in the house, I guess, was like 8 feet. That was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cop, and then the cop starts to hear something.
Yes.
And like all good cops, he gets down on his knees and puts his ear
To the
ground.
You know how they do that? They're like, wait,
Right.
something's coming.
That's right. And he does it twice. He does it. He's got to make sure.
You gotta check.
So he does it.
You gotta
Yeah.
check.
What? Because Eric, what is going on?
Well, here's where that opening shot of the house comes in. And I thought, good for you guys, because it's the same shot of the house. Remember, it's the middle of the night, but somehow it's kind of a daytimey shot. The hill at the back of the house starts shaking and then Godzilla style. This giant freaking alien monster, like just big as the mountain, comes out of the house. And then the credits. And I was
Eric,
like, come on, that's awesome.
You'll be surprised, Eric, to know that the guy who did that shot with the thing at the end, he said that they didn't have a lot of money, so you're not going to believe it. He only spent $500 making that effect.
Well, he's a master model maker, because that's the thing that ties it together. Is why are they showing this model house? Like, it looks like a little model train's going to come by at the beginning of the movie. You're thinking, oh, they just didn't have a location. No, because the end of the movie, they have to show this gargantuan monster, like they're just taking over the earth.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really fun, cool ending.
To be clear, that it does bring us back to where the inspiration of this movie is clearly from, those 50s movies, these stories of creatures and monsters coming from space, things like that. They're bringing it back to those roots. And so, yeah, that's the end. And so, Eric, I mean, I had a good time watching The Deadly Spawn. If we're going to talk about our feelings, there's a lot to like in here for horror fans, right?
If we're gonna talk. All right, tell me, are you afraid of monster movies? Oh,
no, not really. Not really.
Did you think do you think Deadly Spawn could happen for real?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, what? Okay, is there a monster you think that might be out there?
I don't know. Maybe big.
So yeah, you were saying therapeutically for you, it was what?
I needed it. You
needed that movie?
It delivered. I do think it is a great piece of indie filmmaking exploitation horror movie. This is something that could just be so much worse. I think you and I have seen stuff like that. They did a lot of work on these creatures, and you can tell they really were into it, and it shows. I would say they put heart into it. You feel like, rather than this being something where they're trying to make a cheap buck making a exploitation horror movie, these were people that it was more of an indie filmmaking spirit of, I have these ideas and get a good person who really likes to do creatures, and let's see what we can do with this limited location and limited budget, but really go all in on these creature effects and find ways to film them and think through the shots. Because I will say that centerpiece of gore and creature stuff, where Charlie is in the basement and we're forced sort of getting a look at the tadpoles and the electrician being killed and the whatever, that sequence goes on for a while, but it's never boring. However, there were a lot of moments in this movie where I said, let's move it along, especially in the first, I would say, 20 minutes of the movie. There's a lot of expositional scenes, which is typical for exploitation movies. They have to kind of make it to 89 minutes or 80 minutes, and they only have enough budget to have a few things. It has a bonkers segment in the middle with the vegetarian dinner party. I thought it was hilarious. and it just worked for me. And so I would recommend The Deadly Spawn to people if they want to check this out. Know what you're getting into. Deadly Spawn is a very, very low budget movie, and it has ideas which I wish that they had thought through a little bit more. There is something there, Eric, with the brother losing his mind. He starts as the scientific one and he kind of loses his mind. There are ideas there that they didn't clearly develop at all, but they put into the movie and spent a lot of time laying the pipe for it. And it doesn't pay off. And then I get frustrated with stuff like that. But for the special effects, for the weirdness, for the wackiness, it's a good movie. And I'm not going to say so bad it's good, because it genuinely delivers some gross special effects that elicited visceral reactions from me. I literally, as I said during the podcast, said, "Oh, ow," a few times. So what about you? How did you think of this movie?
Well, you get visceral reactions from almost anything, so I'm not sure that that's valid. No,
I did see a doctor this week
you did
for my
good.
visceral reactions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I agree with almost everything you said. I think that I was looking at it like if some people I know that are starting out as filmmakers said, "Hey, we made this film," and I watched this film, I'd say, "Wow, you guys did a great job. Great job. Wow, with the budget you had and stuff, and you actors quit and all that. Great job. Great job." So originally when I started watching it, I thought to myself, Art's going to say, we had other choices. There's other movies out there, but I did enjoy the film. Cheated the first time I watched it, and I said, I can't do that to the podcast. I have to watch these scenes that I'm fast forwarding through, which is the, on the phone and all that stuff. So
I hear you. I hear you. I do.
I did watch it. And once I watched the movie, could rewatch that, then I was less restless about, come on, let's get moving. This movie's not, the acting's not great. But again, for me, it's the creature makes the movie. It's an awesome, scary creature, and they spent a lot of time showing it to you because it was so good. So I would recommend this movie if you like nostalgia, rainy monster flicks. If you want a monster, this is 100% a monster. It's alien. It's not, to me, it was more of a monster. But I would recommend it if you like monster movies. And it does give other movies, I think, give a nod to this one, which we could explore eventually. But Slither, which I adore Slither, a great movie if you haven't seen it. And it is the same thing, tadpole alien invasion, except in Slither, they take over your body. They don't rip you apart with their giant teeth. It's hard for me to sit through dated music. So the music for me was grating on my brain. I went to bed. I did love I thought anyone who's into SMR should just take out all the music and just listen to all the sounds that like that. I think if you love SMR, you could really appreciate that. So I did like it. Would I watch it again? I might. I looked up the creature on IMDb. I looked for images of it. Would I watch it again? I don't know, but I did learn you can destroy creatures with flash powder, so that's cool.
Yeah, this doesn't have. I would probably be fast forwarding a lot through it. I did watch it twice for the podcast, but like I said, I think the second time through, I was a little more heavy on that fast forward button. So what would you say? I mean, I know we still haven't come up with a rating system.
I know,
but
you
what would you give this one? What would you give this one?
You say that every time, Art. Like we haven't come up with a rating system, and we have.
What is it?
So I would give it 5 out of 10 kale salads with green sauce.
Nice. Good. What about the Swedish soy balls? How did you think about those?
I looked up the recipe. My wife and I are having them for dinner. And you know what I said to my wife? I'm like, Juju, you've done it again.
All right, everybody. So that's it this week for Midnight Cinema. Please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast apps. You can leave us a rating or a review. You can email us at midnightcinemapod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear recommendations of movies you'd like to see us cover. And Erik, it's been great. Next week, we'll be firing up the projector for another movie. We hope you all join us on Midnight Cinema.
Yes, and hopefully the next movie we see will say, "What the fuck was that?"